high side. Murphy shooting, save a rebound on the view.
Hey everyone, this is Casey. You are watching the Red Rubber Duckman All Sports Network. The Steelers win 28-15 over the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. If I remember correctly, it's the 23rd straight home victory on Monday Night Football, and they overwhelmed the Miami Dolphins in the final 35 minutes. But let's talk about the offense, because once Aaron Rodgers got hot, the offense went hot. 224 yards and 2 touchdowns for him. And then our first touchdown drive after Miami went up 3-0. And then Connor Hayward tush push to give us the lead. And then Rodgers added third quarter touchdown throws to Marquez, Valdez, Scantling, 19 yards. And then, of course, DK Metcalf, finally, this guy is showing up. And, of course, he had a 28-yard touchdown as well. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers seemed like he was back at home in Green Bay, 23 or 27. In frigid Acrisure Stadium, I think the temperature was around 15 degrees at that point. So one of the coldest games in Pittsburgh Steeler history. But Aaron Rodgers went white hot. And he's the NFL's second oldest player. All thanks to Philip Rivers returning to the Indianapolis Colts. But enough of that from him. And of course, Rodgers had plenty of help from Kenneth Gainwell. He gained well, let's just say that. 126 total yards on the night. And because of that loss, you see Miami anywhere? Nope. It's because we have officially eliminated them from playoff consideration. So, yeah. Of course, Tua had 22 of 28 for 254 yards, but I think the majority of that came in garbage time when the Steelers already went up the dreaded 28-3. At that point, it was just too little too late. Because those 2 touchdowns from Darren Waller could not eclipse his game, because Tua now has 15 interceptions. And of course, it was by the new guy, Asante Samuel. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers black and gold, buddy, because you gave us another turnover. And of course, Devon Achane, he only ran for 60 yards, caught 6 passes for 68 more, but it was pretty much a non-factor during the middle portion of the game when we scored 4 straight touchdowns on 4 straight drives. We have not lost at home on Monday since 1992. Three River Stadium was still a thing. The first Bush was still in the Oval Office. That is how long it's been since Pittsburgh lost at home on a Monday night. And we actually won without TJ Watt. I kept on saying that Brandon Perna needs to burn that curse wheel. He still does. But fortunately, TJ Watt was the only victim, even though I hope he does get better. Because a collapsed lung and needing surgery, I really hope he does get better. So, for only the second time In 13 games without TJ Watt, we ended up winning. And of course, without Watt, we still managed to sack Tua 4 times. And of course, I mentioned earlier that pick from Asante Samuel. And with that, Tua is now, I think, 0-6 in games where the temperature at kickoff was under 40 degrees. It was freaking minus 5. It was at 15 degrees, like I mentioned earlier. And the Dolphins had negative 20 yards of total offense in the third quarter. The defense showed up to play, and it showed. We were constantly getting pressure. Of course, those 4 sacks, and then the pick. We forced Tua to turn the ball over again. And unfortunately for you, Miami, I think those 2 garbage time touchdowns might have saved Mike McDaniel's career for another day. You better hope it doesn't. But now that the playoffs are out of reach, not too early to start thinking about the offseason. But as for the Steelers, they are now 8-6. We have 3 games left, and we are a game above the Baltimore Ravens for now. But if you look at the Steelers' schedule, it's simple. You got the Lions at Ford Field next Sunday. Might be able to stream that one. You got the Cleveland Browns. They're not going to be outside the coverage area because they're going to be up in Cleveland. And that will be a 1 o'clock game. And we haven't won in Cleveland in God knows how long. And, of course, you got the Ravens, of course, looking for revenge and looking to play spoiler. We have, and if you look at the Ravens' schedule, because they got a very tough schedule too, sitting at 7-7. They have to face off against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. That's not a very easy matchup, especially with Drake May and them playing pissed off after choking against the Bills. Of course, you got the Packers up at Lambeau. That's going to be a very tough matchup as well. And that's going to be on Saturday night, on Saturday the 27th. And then, of course, they end it in Heinz Field on Week 18. So there is a slight possibility we could see the AFC North Championship on the line in Pittsburgh. Could possibly be on Sunday Night Football. You never know. You never know how they're going to flex it. But the Steelers are right there. It is nearly there. The magic number is like down to either 2 or 3. You haven't clinched anything yet. Focus on this one. Focus on the task at hand. And let's see what we can do. Let's force Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren to try to counter Sonic and Knuckles. Because if we end up blocking as well as we did for them, we could be more than just a one-and-done team if we continue to play like this. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's 12:30 in the morning when I'm recording this, so I got to head off for bed. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Please feel free to like, comment, share this video with your friends, and, of course, subscribe to the Red Rubber Duck One All Sports Network for more recaps like this. But thank you guys again for watching, and until we meet again, I will see you all in the next one. Take care, and as always, let's go Steelers!